Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for today's webinar, How to Grow Your Practice Through Advisory Services. I am Gary Dehart. I'm the publisher of Insightful Accountant, Tax Practice News, and the host of Accounting Insiders podcast, and kind of the man behind the scenes for today's webinar. Our speakers are Adam Lean and Jeff Prager, but before I have them introduce themselves, I do have a couple of housekeeping items to cover. Number one, this is a CPE eligible session. So in order to earn the CPE, you must be present on the webinar for 50 minutes, 50 minutes. You must answer at least 3 of the polling questions. I believe we have 4 total. So there's a little room for error, but go ahead and participate if you need CPE. If you meet the minimum criteria, we will send you an email with a link to a very short survey. It's like 3 questions just about the content of this webinar. Then upon completing that, we'll send you your certificate at the email address that you used to register for this webinar. So if you have any questions, we ask you just to put them down in the questions panel, and Adam and Jeff will get to those when they can. They'll certainly be monitoring that. And then the recording will be available on our YouTube channel, which I will place a link to our YouTube channel in the chat once I turn the presentation over. I will also place a copy of the presentation in the chat once I turn the presentation over as well. We will send you an email tomorrow that has a link to our YouTube, as well as a link to a box holder that has a copy of the slide deck as well. So that is all that I have. Gentlemen, thank you for being here. I look forward to, I've already gone through the slide deck, so I look forward to hearing your side of it and seeing what I can learn. Thank you both.
Thanks, Gary. Today, we're going to talk about how to grow your practice through business advisory services. And we have basically 6 topics that we're going to discuss. The first is what clients really want from a business advisory service. The second topic is what a successful business looks like. We're going to define that for you. Then we're going to determine if you're qualified to provide business advisory services. The fourth topic is why now, especially in today's environment, is the right time to be providing these services. Then we're going to talk about how to approach business owners about this service and get them to buy. There's the key operative word, get them to buy. Adam does a phenomenal job on that section. And then we're going to talk about how to provide a business advisory service in an efficient way that you could scale and get you real results and gets real results for your clients as well. So let me tell you a little bit about Adam and I. We're both former accountants who have built multiple businesses. So we've been on both sides of the fence, both as a practitioner and as a business owner. And together we built a very successful outsourced CFO business advisory firm. But to ensure we were efficient and profitable, we developed a complete system to ensure we were providing real results. There's another key, and we'll tell you how we measure results later, to business owners so that they could have a growing and more successful business. But we ran into a problem, which is, I'm sure, one that all of you would like. We were growing too fast. So in order to hit our target of helping over 10,000 businesses have a growing and more successful business, we created a program where we teach our complete system. There's another operative word, and we're going to go over the system later, where we teach it to independent accountants, enrolled agents, bookkeepers, CPAs, and other financial professionals so that they can offer a scalable and systematic outsourced CFO business advisory service to their clients. And we call it the CFO Project. So let's go to our first topic, and that is what clients really want from a business advisory service.
All right. Thank you so much, Jeff. So let's talk about what clients really want from a business advisory service, because in order to sell a CFO service or a business advisory service to your existing clients or to new clients, we've got to put ourselves in their shoes. We have to empathize with them. We have to understand what they're facing, the challenges that they're facing. We have to understand their pain so that we could solve it through our CFO business advisory service. So we need to understand what a business owner really wants from you. And here it is. Business owners want someone that they trust to tell them what to do to have a growing and successful business. That's what business owners want. Coincidentally, they want that from their accountant. If you're a business owner's accountant, they know that doing the taxes, doing the books and all that is a necessary evil, but they really want you to tell them what to do to have a growing and successful business. We'll talk about that more in just a few minutes. Zig Ziglar, a famous marketer, said that you could have everything in life that you want if you will just help enough other people get what they want. So you could have everything you want for your accounting practice if you will just help business owners get what they want. And what they want is simple. They want a growing and more profitable business. So if you want to grow your practice through business advisory services, you must give your current and future clients what they want. And what do your current and future business owner clients want? Business owners want someone that they can trust to tell them what to do to have a growing and successful business. Now, let's break this down into 3 parts. They want someone that they can trust. There are not that many people in the business owner's lives that they can trust with helping them make strategic and financial decisions for their business. Think about that. Business owners are overwhelmed. They're scared. They're isolated. They're confused about how to grow their business. They need strategic advice and they need financial advice. There's not that many people to talk to. They can't talk to their employees, their bookkeeper, their accountant, their banker, their spouse, or their friends. Why is that? Well, their employees cannot fully understand nor appreciate what the owner's going through, so they can't really talk to their employees. Their bookkeeper's job is literally to keep the books, to record the past. Their accountant, maybe all of us, we're not getting paid to provide strategic advice, nor do we have an efficient way to do so that's helpful. We'll talk about that later on. Their banker doesn't understand business strategy. They can't bring home more baggage to their spouse, and their friends simply don't get it. Yet, these are likely the 6 people most business owners will turn to first for help. But as their financial professional, they already trust you, their accountant. They value your opinion and they want your advice. Why is that? Because they want someone that they can trust to just tell them what to do. Because business owners crave direction. They not only want direction, they crave direction from somebody that they can trust. Remember, they value your opinion and they want your advice. So let's pause here just for a moment and let's hang on this. They value your opinion, they want your advice. Let's think about that. They need accounting and bookkeeping. However, they want your advice. So they need these things. They need accounting. They need bookkeeping. They need their taxes done. That's a need, but that's not necessarily what keeps them up at night. Business owners aren't lying awake at night thinking, oh man, I can't wait till my accountant does my tax return, or I can't wait till my bookkeeper does my books, or I wish I had cleaner books. But what they are lying awake at night is thinking, how am I going to make payroll next Friday? Can I really afford to hire the person I hired today? Should I let this person go? Can I raise my prices? Should I raise my prices? If so, to what? What do I need to do to make more money in the bank? Get more money in the bank. They want you to tell them what to do. They want your advice. So when a client asks their bookkeeper or accountant for advice, things like, how do I make more money? Or you said I had $100,000 in profit and I have to pay taxes on that, but I only have $10,000 in the bank. What happened? Can I afford to hire someone? Should I raise my prices? If so, to what? So when a client asks you for advice, most accountants will give their reply in the form of data. Well, here's your reports. Here's the P&L. Here's the balance sheet. Here's my forecast. Here's a ratio analysis. Let's do some budgeting. Here's some charts, some fancy graphs that I've bought an app that connect to QuickBooks. Here's the problem. Your clients don't care as much as you think they should about that data. Why? Because it's confusing to them. It's hard for them to know what to do just by looking at all that data. Think about it. The P&L and the balance sheet and the statement of cash flow, those are accounting reports. They're not business managerial reports. So if all you do is give your clients these reports, they are going to be more confused than ever because they don't know how to read them and they don't know how to use them to grow their business. If you want to be a business advisor and be able to charge for this service, you've got to be someone that they can trust to tell them what to do, not just give them data. But you have to tell them what to do in language that they can understand. So you have to speak business owner language, not accountant language. Because your clients want to have a growing and successful business. That's their end goal. Now, they crave strategic guidance. They want you to give them strategic guidance, meaning they want someone who understands the entire business, not just the numbers, not just looking at everything from a tax standpoint, but understands the entire business from a marketing, operations, logistics standpoint, and can give them strategic guidance on how to have a growing and successful business. But, of course, they also crave financial guidance. They may not put it in these terms, but they want someone who understands the numbers and can give them financial guidance. How do I make more money? That's what a business advisor does. That's what a CFO does. A business advisor understands the entire business from a strategic standpoint and a financial standpoint. A CFO is not the head accountant. A CFO understands the entire business from a strategic standpoint and a financial standpoint and can help guide the business owner towards having a growing and successful business. Now think about that. Big businesses, every Fortune 500 company, everybody that is on this that's a big business, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Coca-Cola, they all have CFOs to do two things, really: to understand the entire business from a strategic and financial standpoint and guide the leadership team, the CEO and the other directors, towards being a growing and successful business. That is really the job of the CFO. All big businesses have that, but every business on earth needs someone to do the exact same thing. Every business on earth, all small and medium and big businesses need someone to understand the entire business from a strategic and financial standpoint and guide the business owner, the business, towards having a growing and successful business. But the problem is that CFOs for big businesses are expensive. But if you can offer this at a much less reduced rate than the big businesses CFOs, your clients will say yes because they need and crave somebody to do these things. So in just a few minutes, we'll show you how you could pitch this to business owners, and we'll show you a way to actually provide this service once they say yes. But the point is, right now, you need to understand that for you to have a growing and more successful accounting practice, you need to be able to provide a service that your clients really want. And if you can provide a service that your clients really want, they will pay you for that. The average client pays our members in our membership program $2,500 a month for a CFO service. Think about that, $2,500 a month times 12. You only need a handful of clients to add six figures to your accounting practice. So let's start off with our first poll question. Do you offer some sort of business advisory CFO service now? So there's the first poll question. Do you offer some sort of business advisory CFO service now? There's four options. Yes, a robust service. Yes, a basic. No, I just offer tax or accounting, or no, but I'm considering the switch. And by the way, if you have any questions, please put them in the Q&A section in Zoom, and we will answer them either here live or after we've wrapped up, we'll save time for a Q&A session. All right, 31% said yes, a basic service. 25% said no, I just offer tax and accounting, and 44% said no, but I am considering switch. So let's talk about what a successful business looks like, because I use the words business owners want someone that they trust to have a growing, successful business. But what does successful business look like? Now, we know that business owners want someone they trust to tell them what to do to have a growing and successful business. But what does that mean? What does a successful business look like? And how do you know if you're helping your clients get there? Because a lot of people who are currently offering a CFO service are really offering almost a glorified accounting or bookkeeping service. And they may give their client a little bit extra in terms of budgeting or forecasting or ratio analysis. But what business owners really want is to have a successful business. They don't really care how it gets there. They just want to have a successful business. And a successful business is one that can do one thing well: generate consistent cash flow. Now let's look at that. Cash flow is the amount of cash the business generates that the owner can do what they want with. And this is why business owners want it. They can pay themselves more with more cash. They can reinvest that more cash into the back end of their business by doing more marketing or hiring more people or buying more inventory, expanding locations. They can pay down debt with it. So the point is, a healthy business, and certainly one that is successful, is one that can generate positive cash flow on a consistent basis. Think about it. Every business since the beginning of time would still be in business if they were still able to generate positive cash flow on a consistent basis. And by the way, profit does not equal cash flow. And a lot of business owner clients and some accountants out there are confused about this. An unprofitable business can stay in business for years, but a business that lacks cash won't last a day. I mean, think about Uber. They've yet to make a profit, but they've been in business for years. Why? Because they have investor money. They have cash. They're able to generate cash flow, not necessarily from the operations of their business, but from investors. Small and medium-sized business owners don't have that luxury. They need to generate positive cash flow from their business in order to stay in business. So our job as business advisors is to help our clients generate consistent cash flow. Again, think about it. Every business in the history of time would have survived if it was able to generate consistent cash flow. And your clients want a successful business, and they want you to show them how to get there. So before we talk about how we suggest that you show them how to get there, let's talk about how to determine if you're qualified to provide business advisory services.
So this is a very simple discussion, okay? I bet you thought it was going to be very intense. It's not. You're qualified to provide business advisory services if you could be someone to help business owners do the following. Understand the entire business, and I'll elaborate more on that when I get to the how we provide the service. But you must understand the entire business from both a strategic, in other words, understanding the whole machine and how it works, and a financial standpoint, getting them to generate cash flow, and be able to guide the business toward being a growing and successful business in a way that the business owner defines success. So to become a business advisor, you need three things, okay? The desire to help business owners, a financial background, and the third, and the most important, a complete system for understanding the entire business and for guiding your clients. Now, let me say this. We could help you with number three, but the first two we can't. So stay tuned, and I'm going to elaborate on this a little bit more. The next question is, why now is the right time to be providing business advisory services? So let me go through this. And by the way, I've noticed the trend of what I'm going to talk about ever since I started practice. Okay, so this is not rocket science, but 99% of all businesses are small. Think about that, 99%. They don't have someone that can help them understand the entire business from both a strategic and a financial standpoint. They don't have someone that could guide them toward having a growing and successful business. And as Adam keeps saying, they crave someone they trust, which is naturally you. Think about where you are in their lives. It's you to tell them what to do so they'll have a growing and successful business. In short, business owners are stuck. They're overwhelmed, they're isolated, they're stressed, they're confused. And if you want to sell, and Adam's going to talk about selling this in a few minutes, a business advisory service, you must be able to understand the challenges business owners are facing. And they're facing a lot of challenges, but here are the 5 big ones that Adam and I have identified. Challenge number 1 facing most business owners. The business relies on the owner or it all falls apart. Think about your own businesses. Most business owners are the chief everything. Chief salesperson, chief marketing director, chief technician, chief employee supervisor, chief customer service person, chief fill in the blank. And if they take a day off or a weekend off or 2 weeks off, or God forbid, a month off, their business doesn't run as smoothly. So the owner feels like they're on a hamster wheel going 90 miles per hour. They're tired, they're overworked, but they're afraid to get off that wheel for fear of their business falling apart. How many of you people can empathize with that feeling? So they don't get off the wheel and the business continues to rely on them day after day, month after month. And this is a recipe for burnout and low profitability for the owner. Challenge number 2. The business owner is facing a catch-22 situation. And I know you've all witnessed this. They want to grow their business, but they need cash to do so. But they can't get more cash without growing their business. They don't know how to get more cash because they're not financially and strategically savvy. Notice the theme here, okay? Most business owners started their business for one of 3 reasons, and probably all 3. Reason number 1, they're an expert at their craft or business. A dentist starts a dental business. An electrician starts an electrical business. An accountant starts an accounting business. Okay? But 2, they want control of their time, and potentially they want the ability to make a lot of money. They want to get paid for working hard. But without cash, they end up doing more in the business, things where they're not the expert, like bookkeeping, accounting, strategic planning, and that they don't even enjoy doing. And so they procrastinate. And without this cash, they lose control over their time. And of course, without cash, they lose the ability to make a lot of money. The third challenge facing most business owners is the business owner doesn't have a simple way to understand what's working and not working in their business. The typical financials, the P&L, the balance sheet, and the statement of cash flows are made for us, the financial professionals, not business owners. They're confusing and they don't tell the whole stories. Where are the things that drive revenue and profit? Like leads, sales conversion rate, customer retention rate on those reports. There's a myriad of things that can help the business strategically that never ever show up on a financial statement. So it's hard for a business owner to know what's working and what's not simply by looking at these reports. And to make matters worse, the numbers people in their lives, us, seem to always be speaking a foreign language. As an example, how many of us really understand what our doctors are saying to us when we get done with the exam? So just like us seeing a doctor, how can business owners make decisions when they don't even understand what's going on in their business? To make the fourth challenge, they're afraid, which translates into stress. Many business owners are overwhelmed and worried. They're worried that they're not going to be able to provide a basic income to their family. And because of that, they become stressed. And when they're stressed, relationships with the spouse, family, and friends begin to suffer. For instance, you're at dinner and you're distant and you're distracted from what's going on. And then what happens is they start losing their confidence and self-respect. They're worried that if they have to suffer a business failure, they will look like a failure to family and friends. And more so, what do I do next if this fails? What do I do next? The fifth challenge. They want to be successful, but they don't know how. Most business owners are insecure, and I want to underline insecure, in their understanding of financial and strategic concepts. Things like, what do I need to do to increase revenue? What do I need to do to increase profit? What do I need to do to have more cash in the bank? What do I need to do to grow? What do I need to do to hire more employees, expand my practice, diversify? You name it, fill in the blank. What they really want, and this gets back to our main theme, is someone they trust to tell them what to do to have a growing and successful business. So we're going to go into poll question number 5. Which of the 5 categories do you feel are hurting the average business owner the most? Again, if you have any questions, please post them in the chat.
We'll go ahead and close this out in about 5 more seconds. So if you need that CPE, you do need to participate. So 3, 2, and 1.
All right, so it looks like 41% said the business relies on the owner. It all falls apart. And it's tied with the business owner doesn't have a simple way to understand their numbers. Excellent. All right, so we talked about what business owners want from a business advisor, from a CFO, but we can't provide a CFO or business advisory service until we get clients in the first place. So let's talk about how to approach business owners about this service and get them to buy. So there's one rule of thumb when selling a business advisory service. And that one rule of thumb was coined by a Harvard marketing professor. And he said this: people don't want to buy a 1/4-inch drill. They want a 1/4-inch hole. Think about that. In other words, people just want the end result. They want the hole. They don't really care how it gets there. That's why they buy a drill, to get the end result. So when selling a business advisory service, you've got to sell the end result. Now, think about this. Most of your competitors, other accountants and bookkeepers, they're selling the drill. They're going to their audience. They're going to business owners and say, I do bookkeeping, I do tax, I do accounting services. I could come up with the best budgeting. I could come up with the best graphs and data and pro forma financial statements, and I could do analysis. Although this is important, it's not what your clients and future clients really care about. It's not what's keeping them up at night. Business owners know they need tax and bookkeeping services. It's a necessary evil. I need to go to the dentist. I don't really want to go to the dentist, but I need it. But they don't necessarily want it. If you could provide something they want, you'll be able to sell them all of your services. So if you could say, I help you have a growing, successful business, I help you generate cash flow, then you could upsell them on your tax and bookkeeping services all day long. So what do business owners really care about? Overcoming those 5 challenges that Jeff just talked about. They want to have a business that doesn't rely on them. They want to have plenty of cash so they can grow their business and take some out for themselves, a novel concept. They want to understand in clear language the financial health of their business. They want to not be stressed, afraid, or overwhelmed. And they do want to know what to do to have a growing, successful business. So if you can speak to your current and future clients about overcoming those 5 challenges, instead of what most of your competitors do, which are selling the drill, selling the features of a bookkeeping and accounting service, you will have no problem growing a highly successful and profitable business advisory service. This is how you could grow a highly profitable CFO or business advisory service and add, at least 6 figures to your accounting practice. Now, in our experience, the average business advisory client is worth about $2,500 a month. Using our system, which Jeff will show you here in just a moment, we're able to service one client in about 4 hours a month. So if you do the math, $2,500 a month at 4 hours per month, that's $625. That means we're earning an effective hourly rate per client of $625. Now, according to multiple accounting industry stats, the average accountant in the United States has an effective hourly rate of $43. So if you have just 10 business advisory clients a month, so just 10, you're working 40 hours a month to service those 10, not a week, 40 hours a month to service those 10, and you can earn at $2,500 a client, $25,000 a month. This means you're making essentially $300,000 a year from business advisory services alone. That doesn't include any of the other services you offer. So by providing a business advisory service, you're able to dramatically scale your business while escaping the accountant's trap, meaning where to get paid. The accountant's trap is to get paid more, you have to take on more clients or work more hours. By the way, to get paid more, you can't just raise your prices because there's always another accountant that's willing to do it for cheaper. So to get paid more, you have to take on more clients or work more hours. It's not sustainable. You also have a ton of competition, and other companies are trying to automate your job away. There's tons of, especially with AI being as popular as it is, there's a ton of companies that's automating the accounting process. So by providing a business advisory service, you're able to dramatically scale your business while making such a huge impact on the thousands of struggling, overwhelmed, and stressed out business owners who want you to help them. But to become a business advisor, you need 3 things. The desire to help business owners. You must have a real burning desire to help business owners. You must have a heart for doing something like this. You must have a financial background. And if you're on this webinar, you have that. I'm sure you have that background. But you also must have a system so you'll know how to guide your clients towards having a growing and successful business. And Jeff, in just a moment, is going to show you that system. But first, here's our third poll question. Do you currently have a formal system in place that gives your business clients direction? And there's the third poll question. There's 3 choices. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Or sorry, the Q&A section.
We'll have this open for about 5 more seconds. So if you need the CPE, you do need to participate. Otherwise, we'll close it out in about 3, 2, and 1.
71% no, but I want to, and 29% yes, but it could use improvement. Excellent. So I'm going to turn it back over to Jeff.
So we're going to start wrapping it up a little bit, but this is probably the second most important thing. Adam covered the 1 rule of thumb for sales. I'm going to talk about how to provide the service in an efficient way that also gets real results. Our rule of thumb is you must have a scalable system that gets results. Okay? So let's break this down, unpack it. A scalable system means that you're not reinventing the wheel on each client. A scalable system means you don't feel like you've taken on a new part-time job with every new client. That's important. Early in my career, every time I got a new client, it was like I could do anything you want for you, and everything was reinventing the wheel and taking on a new part-time job. I learned at a real young age that's not sustainable. The third is a scalable system means that you could take on more clients without taking on more cost and giving up more of your time. That's an important concept. All right. The second is you need to get results. So a system that gets results means the service is valuable to your clients. They look forward to it. A system that gets results means you can charge more for it. Look at the average rate we get for our service versus most accountants, okay? A system that gets results means you'll retain each client for a long time. Adam still has his first client from 7 years ago, and I have one of my clients for over 25 years now. Why do they keep coming back? Because they know what they're going to get and they like the service. A system that gets results means you don't always have to be looking for the new clients. Think about the time, because I have a, if you will, stable of clients, I don't have to spend as much time marketing, nor do I have the ups and downs that a lot of us experience as accountants who have to meet deadlines, like tax deadlines, monthly deadlines. Okay. At the beginning of this presentation, we mentioned that we developed a complete system for our outsourced CFO business advisory firm that provided real results to business owners so they can have a growing and successful business. This system allowed us to help hundreds of business owners improve their profitability and cash flow by hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I mean that literally, and in a couple of cases, millions of dollars. This system allowed us to increase the survival rate of our clients. Remember, 1 out of 5 clients, 1 out of every 2 clients will not make it to their 5th birthday. This system allowed us to take on more clients in less time with less overhead and less overwhelm. And finally, this system allowed us to earn more money per client than any other accounting or bookkeeping services that Adam or I ever offered, and we contend more than you could offer. So it's really good. So let's go into our scalable system that gets results. First of all, this system works for any size business in any industry. Okay. And it gets you from point A, which is where you are today, to point B, which is where the owner understands the entire business from a strategic and financial standpoint and knows what to do about it so they can have a growing and successful business every single month. Now let's go through the stages of this. There are 3 stages. The first stage is where you show your client what's driving or influencing their revenue, profit, and cash flow. And we break that down into basically 12 drivers that we focus on to help our clients succeed. Our thought is we think of our business as a machine. And our job is to break the machine down into different parts, which we call the drivers. And by looking at those parts, we can see which parts of their business are working and which parts are not. Based on that, we go to the second stage, and this is where you and your client set measurable targets or goals. And this is important. Where do they want to end up for this year and the next 5 years? You'll help your clients set targets for each of the parts of their business, the drivers. And all of this should be based on their vision, your client's vision, and the vision they have for their business. And that's really important. What's their vision? What are their goals? And base your targets in 1 year and 5 year targets based on their goals. Now, the third stage, this is the most fun part of the whole process, is where you give your clients a simple way to get to know what's going on in their business, which we call the scoreboard, and it's color coded, so it's easy for them to understand. And it's a way to know what to do about it, the objectives and next steps, so they'll have a growing and successful business. So we help them come up with objectives and next steps that are actionable and measurable. And then we repeat the third stage every single month. And again, at the end of the year, we start the whole process all over again. And that's what keeps them coming back. So this system will allow you to grow your practice in less time and with less stress, because you're charging for your value, not your time. Because you have a system that you're going to use, it's replicable, you're going to use it with every client, and that makes it scalable. And because you have a system that works for any business, and I truly mean this, large or small, okay? We've done it for both, and it works. There's no differences. So that's kind of the system in a nutshell.
All right, so here are your takeaways. Business owners want someone that they can trust to tell them what to do to have a growing and successful business. And they want you to do this because they already trust you. And let's be honest, they expect this type of advice from you already. If you could do this, you'll be able to charge more than you would for bookkeeping, tax, and accounting services. Plus, this is how you can differentiate yourself from all your competitors. And there are a lot of competitors. But in order to provide a business advisory service that gets results, you must have 3 things: the desire to help business owners, a financial background. You have to actually be able to understand the financials of a small, medium-sized business, and a complete system for guiding your clients, for getting clients, and for converting those clients. So if you have number 1 and number 2, the desire and the financial background, we can provide to you number 3. So if you're interested, we have an exclusive membership program just for financial professionals, accountants, CPAs, and bookkeepers. We do not allow anybody that does not fit that bill, financial professional. So for example, business coaches, we don't allow in our program. So we have an exclusive membership program just for financial professionals where we'll teach you step by step 3 things: how to provide a CFO service that gets results using a proven system. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel each time you have a client. You never have to wonder again what to do during a client meeting each month where you're advising them. Number 2, we'll show you how to get leads on a regular basis, because without being able to get leads, you can't get clients and service the clients, which means you won't make money doing this. You have to have leads. But We're all accountants. It's hard for us to get leads. We're not marketers, but we have a complete system that you can use to get leads without spending a dime on ads and without cold calling. And then number 3, convert those leads to paying clients. You have to have a system. Once you get a lead, you have to convert them to a client. Business owners aren't Googling, I need to hire a CFO, and then finding a website and signing up. They don't even know what a CFO service is, and they don't even know what a CFO is, much less do they think they need one. So you have to have a system to convert a lead into a paying client. And our system works hands down without ever feeling like a salesperson. We call this program the CFO Project Membership Program. This program is for 3 groups of financial professionals. So if you fit one of these 3 groups, 1, Group A, you're already providing some sort of business advisory service now, but you're not sure if the advice you're giving is the best advice, nor are you getting compensated appropriately for this advice. We talked to a lot of accountants, and many of them tell us that they're giving this advice away for free because A, they don't think it's the best advice, and B, they just think it's a nice to have to offer their clients who are already paying them for tax services. So we'll show you how to actually get compensated appropriately. Group B, you're providing tax, accounting, or bookkeeping services already, and you'd like to enhance it, like upsell, by providing a high-quality CFO or business advisory service that gets results. Or Group C, you would like to get out of this work, transition out of compliance work or transactional work altogether, and make this your last tax season, and just focus on being a highly sought-after outsourced CFO or business advisor. We have about 250 members in our program, and many of them have done just this. Actually, I was talking to a member yesterday and said within 8 months of him joining, he was able to leave his day job and he has doubled his income. And this is somebody I talked to yesterday who had joined our program about a year ago. Here's an example. Becky, she's in our program. She's using the systems that the CFO Project equipment with. She says, I was able to reduce my workload by 75%, not even kidding, and increase my income by 50%. This program has changed my life. Okay, so what do you get in this program? Well, you get a few things. You get the training, what we call the CFO basic training, which takes about 1 hour a week for 6 weeks. It includes 6 learning modules, 35 video-based lessons, and includes access to templates, workbooks, and links to resources. You include what we call our CFO resource vault, which includes over 80 tools and templates, includes demo data, case studies with real businesses, discussion threads to get help, and a complete step-by-step quick start guides. We have what we call the CFO help desk, where you could get help from CFO trainers on your schedule. We have a rule of thumb. If it takes you more than 5 minutes to solve a problem, reach out. And there's multiple ways to reach out. You can get help one-to-one. You could ask in our community forums. You could go to your roundtable, which we'll talk about in just a moment. You have access to our community forum, where you have access to all 200 plus, right now it's around 250 members, and our trainers. So it's Jeff and I plus several CFO trainers. You'll connect with other accountants, CPAs, bookkeepers, and enrolled agents who are also building and scaling a CFO business advisory service. Now, CFO roundtables, this is my favorite part of this program. It's what we call our weekly mastermind style virtual meetings. So you'll meet with a small group of other CFOs every week led by a trainer. So each roundtable is led by one of our certified trainers, and you'll be assigned to a roundtable that meets your schedule. So whenever you join, we'll show you the available roundtables. Just pick whichever one works for your schedule. Now, we are certified by NASBA to issue CPE. And so each month we have live deep dive live classes where we deep dive into a variety of topics, and they're all available to earn. You have the ability to earn CPE credit. So you'll earn 1 CPE for every masterclass. So there's multiple opportunities to earn CPE each year. Again, we focus on support. We want you to have as much support as possible. So this is not just some sort of training program where you jump in and And if you have a question, you don't know what to do. Support is the cornerstone of our program, because we always say that if we can teach you how to ride a bike by showing you some courses on how to ride a bike, but you must get on the bike. And then when you fall off the bike or you struggle, you need a group of people that's been there and done that can help you. That's where the forum comes in, the help desk, the round tables, and the office hours. So we'll be available each week during a set time for you to get help. You'll join Jeff and other top leaders each week for office hours and get your questions answered. We also have what we call the CFO certification, where you can become a certified CFO. You'll get a certification seal for use on your websites, email, etc., to build trust. Lastly, we have what we call the 3-client guarantee. We're guaranteeing that you'll get your first 3 CFO clients. Your first 3 CFO clients are on us. We're guaranteeing it. So if you get 3 clients and charge the minimum that we recommend, which the minimum, by the way, is $1,500 a month, that means each client's worth $18,000 a year. If you get 3 of them, that's $54,000. So our 3-client guarantee equates to a $54,000 guarantee. Before joining the CFO project, I was doing bookkeeping and tax prep, but wanted to do more for my clients. I wanted to help them make data-driven decisions to help them grow their business. Since joining, I've added 5 CFO clients, which represents $7,000 a month in additional income. All right, so just to show you, these are the things that you'll get. Here's the value of each of these things if we sold them individually. Of course, we don't sell them individually. And 3-client guarantees worth $54,000. So this all adds up to about $82,000 worth of value. I can tell you that the fee for our program is $9,500 for the year. And that includes full access for the year. But since you're on today's training, then we're going to offer it to you for a full year for $7,500. And it's only for those that are here live with us. So to see if you qualify and to speak with a facilitator, go to this website, gocfo.live/rightfit. And what this will do is give you a calendar and just schedule a call with one of our facilitators within 48 hours to get the special. You don't have to have the call within 48 hours. You just have to schedule the call within the next 48 hours. So you can schedule the call for sometime next week, whenever fits your schedule. But on the call, we'll speak with you and give you a behind-the-scenes tour of the program. We'll answer all your questions. And by the way, there are payment plans available up to 36 months. But I can tell you this program works. That's why we're guaranteeing it. So we're going to guarantee your first 3 clients. So it's a $7,500 investment. We're guaranteeing it. So, thank you, Gary, for putting that in the chat. gocfo.live/rightfit. All right. Schedule the call, but let's answer our 4th poll question. What was the most valuable part of today's webinar? And then we have a few minutes left for Q&A. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the Q&A box as well.
I will keep this open for about 5 more seconds and then we'll close it out. 3, 2, and 1. Thank you.
Excellent. So let's answer questions. What questions do we have? Anybody have any questions? Feel free to put them in the chat.
Adam, I see one. What's the difference between a fractional CFO and what we do?
All right. Well, that's a good question. A fractional CFO is traditionally the term for outsourced CFO, fractional CFO, virtual CFO, has been known to do one thing, really get hired by a business owner or the CEO of a company and solve a problem. So they're fractional in nature. So they come in, they solve a problem like raising money or fixing their accounting or whatnot, and then they leave. What we're proposing is that small to medium-sized business owners don't know what they need. So they're not Googling, I need a CFO. They don't even know how to even hire a CFO. What they do want is a relationship with somebody that they could trust to tell them what to do. So if you could do that, you'll have a client that'll last for years. And essentially what we're selling is a productized service. So you get the benefits of a service, meaning most services you can charge a lot for. Products you can't charge a lot for. But the benefits of a product, though, is that a manufacturer who creates a product once and then just manufactures it over and over and over. So what we're saying is provide a product that's created once. We've created it, you can use it, and we'll show you how to use it in the program. So you create the product and use it over and over and over without having to reinvent the wheel, but you're selling it as a service. So it's a productized service. So you charge more for your value, not the time spent to create it.
Adam, another question was, I'm not an extrovert. I don't really like to market. How do I get clients?
So here's a secret in that I'm an introvert. I'm one of the biggest introverts that I think I know. And the thing is, I'm able to do this, and I'm successful at doing this. And I've been successful at doing this for a long time because I can do the one thing required, which is to build relationships with people. You don't need a lot. First of all, you don't need a lot of people. You don't need to have a lot of conversations. You don't need to market a lot because you just need 10 clients. Once you get 10, you could almost stop marketing. But the thing is, people don't want to be sold to. And that's why it works so well for introverts, for people that just don't like marketing, like us accountants. People don't want to be sold to. They don't even know what you're selling. It's not like you're selling another brand of toothpaste. You don't have to convince people why they need toothpaste. You just have to convince them why they need your toothpaste. Here, you do have to convince people that they need a CFO, and you have to convince them they need you. So you can't just go up to somebody and sell in the traditional sense. We flip that on its head, and we build relationships. And the process, if you follow this process, it will work. I mean, we've proven it over the past decade. It works because people don't want to be sold to, but what they do want is someone that they can trust to tell them what to do. And so we don't even mention the word CFO or even our pricing to clients until later, until the second meeting that you have with a prospect, or the second time you interact with a prospect. We provide value first, and we'll show you exactly how to do all of that so you can sell without being an introvert.
To be quite frank with you, I also am an introvert, and all it is having a discussion with your next new best friend. There's no selling skills involved. So it's kind of good. I think we have time for one more question, Adam. What's our typical client look like?
That's a great question. Do you want to tackle that one?
Well, that's loaded. Yeah, sure. I'll do it. We look for people who are experts at what they do. Remember earlier, we talked about the dentist or the electrician or the plumber or whatever. They're good at what they do, and they have a skill that's marketable, but they may not necessarily have the resources to understand business and finance. That's a different skill set. We typically look for businesses within $500,000 to $5 million. That's our typical. We've worked with businesses way bigger than that. And we've worked and incubated businesses way smaller. But we look for them. They're an expert at what they do. They're between $500,000 and $5 million. And they're building a business, not a job. That's typically what we look for when we scope out people. Now, there are other things you can add, but if you notice, I didn't say any specific industry. That's going to be up to you if you even want to have an industry specification. So in general, those are our usual parameters. There are exceptions to every rule. And I think we're running out of time.
Yeah, thank you so much for allowing us to present today.
Thank you both for joining us. I had one question I did want to throw in there too. Throughout your slide deck, you or not throughout, but in one part of the slide deck, you were talking about your clients, right? The members of the program must be financial professionals, and you said CPAs, accountants, and bookkeepers. What's the average, or not average, but what does that look like? Kind of look your distribution across the members. Yeah, thank you.
That's a great question.
That's the word I'm looking.
I would say that probably 35% are bookkeepers, and about so 35% of bookkeepers. I would say, and 65% are either CPAs or accountants. So I would say 55% are CPAs, 5% are non-CPA accountants, and then 5% are enrolled agents. Does that sound about right, Jeff?
Yeah, I think you skewed the CPA side. But yeah, for all practical purposes, that's a good cross section.
And so follow up on that then, do you find that when the bookkeepers come into your program, do they already have the base knowledge to be able to do this, or are you helping them more expand on their knowledge base so they can do this?
That's a great question. The reason why we only accept financial professionals, CPAs, bookkeepers, and enrolled agents and accountants is because you have to have, we don't teach accounting in the program. You have to already come to the table with that knowledge. But here's the thing, and this is what most people who try to do something like this get wrong, is that they try to approach their clients as an accountant and think the answer lies in their accounting knowledge. You could be the CFO for Coca-Cola and be this amazing CFO and still fail at the job of being a CFO for small to medium-sized businesses, because you're not actually executing for your client. Your client is executing. So you could tell your client all day long what you think they should do to improve their business, but if you can't get them to actually do it, then you will fail. And that's what most accountants get wrong. So it doesn't matter how much credentials you have. You could have, the CPA and have, 1 million CPE credits and be the CFO or the head accountant for large companies and still fail at this job and lose all your clients and we've witnessed it. We've had CPAs in our program, highly credentialed CPAs, struggle because they can't keep clients because they still want to talk like an accountant. You have to get good at talking like an advisor and getting your clients to take action. And that's a lot of what we teach in our training modules, in our master classes and our roundtables, is how to do that, how to get your clients to take action. And it doesn't matter what you know, it matters how you make your clients feel. And if you can make your clients feel safe and understood and cared for, they will stay and retain your services, and they will do what you say. So regardless if you're a bookkeeper, accountant, CPA, enrolled agent, as long as you have a financial background and you have a desire to help clients, then you are qualified. You can do this program.
Yeah, that's great. And as a small business owner myself, I completely echo with what you've said as far as the need for that outside professional to really give guidance and to tell me, like you put early on, tell me what to do.
Yeah. It's
not that I don't necessarily understand what needs to be done, or it's not that I don't know what needs to be done, but I'm not looking at it always. I'm, running the business.
Totally.
Right. So
it's overwhelming.
Having
why
some
doctors shouldn't work on themselves or their family.
Exactly. Right. So, all right. Well, thank you both. Certainly appreciate you guys joining us. And I need to have you all on my podcast soon as well. So
would love that.
Thanks everybody for joining us this afternoon, and hope you have a wonderful rest of the week, almost weekend. Thank you.
You too.
Thanks, Gary.